last night, and people are generally slower than usual. Having said that, I think we are really getting into a session which looks at the agricultural, the quality, and the dynamics of small growers, and this should be close to the heart of the planting community as well. It's been an excellent convention till now. We've really touched on a lot of interesting topics, but now I will leave the floor to the compare to introduce the presenters, and then we'll take it on from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bedi. Mr. N. Dharmaraj has a long experience of managing tea gardens in South India and Assam with the Brookbond Unilever Group. Worked with the Unilever Plantation Group in the United Kingdom with operational involvement in Unilever plantations and production operation worldwide. He's a permanent faculty at the Unilever Tea Academy. Formerly Vice Chairman of the Association of Planters of Kerala, APK Chairman, UPASI Tea Committee and member Tea Board, India. Official Indian delegate at the FAO Intergovernmental Group on Tea. Member of a number of Tea Board standing committees. He is currently Vice President, responsible for the tea business of Harrison's Malayalam Limited, producing and selling 20 million kilograms of tea. He is also convener of the Gold Leaf India Awards that we saw yesterday, and a joint initiative of the Tea Board and UPASI. I welcome on the dais Mr. N. Dharmaraj.
Shall I say the morning after the night before? The Golden Leaf India Awards, which thankfully and been occupying fair involvement in the last few days, as you are aware, is a joint initiative between the Tea Board of India and the UPASI, with the fundamental objective of channelizing South Indian quality improvement, which has been seen in very great measure in the last 5 years, particularly triggered off by the crisis that this industry had to face from year 2000 onwards. Having captured this quality improvement movement, we're now trying to use the Tiglia as a stamp for the South Indian quality. And this process is all about unleashing the inherent capability of the various South Indian growing regions, each with differing agroclimatic conditions, differing mean altitude above sea level, differing rainfall, differing soil condition, and therefore each possessing a unique quality attribute which together forms this aromatic bouquet that is waiting to satisfy the palate of every tea connoisseur anywhere in the world. Put it in a nutshell, the idea is to give our teas a regional cum estate identity. We have the various regions starting in the alphabetical order. The Annamalai is in Tamil Nadu, which the teas which are famous for their briskness and saffron liquor. The high range teas, which is an escarpment facing the Arabian Sea and which has some of the highest tea growing regions in the world, and teas which are unique for the strong bodied lively briskness. The Nilgiris, which of course needs no special mention now, particularly honored because of the GI status, the exquisitely aromatic tea of the Nilgiris, again high altitude teas. The Travancore teas, what one would like to call the Tiger Valley teas, which some of you must have had an opportunity to see that yesterday. They're unique because of their black leaf appearance and reddish liquor. The Wayanad teas, which was an erstwhile gold miner's paradise, again known for its black leaf appearance and full-bodied teas. The Karnataka teas, which is essentially a coffee growing region but which is some of the most balanced teas, which can be an ideal blend for any combination. Together, as I said, these form the pearl that knits together the South Indian tea panorama. When the first tea seed was planted in the year 1854 in the elephant-infested Nilgiris, what was becoming seminal was not just the cotyledons of a tea seed, but the birth of an industry which would occupy all the land between the Arabian Sea and the Western Ghats, completely encompassing the lives of hundreds and thousands of people, from the resilient men and women who toil the land to the adventurous men who manage them, altogether forming a very unique model of agribusiness which has very little parallel in the annals of world trade. South India, as you know, is the fifth largest producer of tea in the world. We produce about 200 million kilograms annually. And what is unique about this industry is 50% of our production is exported. So we are an export-driven industry. And again, in terms of export quantities, it has the fifth largest position in the world. What has gone in terms of elevating quality base in this region? Of course, the classic approach in tea business, tea plantation business, is what I call the fining of the raw material, progressive improvement in the quality of leaf harvested, correction of pruning cycles. I'm sure Mr. Nazim will also touch upon these issues, which were a bugbear, especially among the small growers. Those who know tea know that the pruning cycles are directly related to the quality of the raw material and the end product. Integrated pest and disease management, which has both helped productivity as well as the quality of leaf, and also contributed towards our effort to stay in line with international plant protection residue guidelines. Dr. Muralidharan will tell us more about it. Factory process optimization. This has been a weak area for the industry as a whole, but in the recent history, there has been a lot of efforts to parameterize the process and then back it up with machinery that can both measure and monitor the process on an ongoing basis. And these have been well supported by work done by the UPASI Tea Research Foundation, especially in terms of process parameterization, and the major support that the industry has received from the Tea Board in terms of subsidy for buying new equipment to modernize factories and help the quality initiatives. Last but not the least, the major strides that the bottle leaf sector has shown, and as you know, quite a few awards that were won last night, including in the overall Nilgiri category, was won by the bottle leaf factories, which to our mind is a very, very significant achievement, which Mr. Nazim will tell you more about it. I mean, he has been single-handedly driving some of these initiatives, so I shall not steal the thunder from him. But it's been a very, very positive effort.
Respected Chairman of the dais, Dr. Muralidharan, Mr. Dharmaraj, Chairman Tea Board, India, Chairman Tea Board, Kenya, and all the other delegates and friends here. It's indeed a pleasure and a privilege for me to address this August gathering. It was really nice yesterday during the Golden Leaf Awards when one of our factories, which is what we call as the INCO factory, Industrial Cooperative Factory, there are 15 of these factories owned by the Tamil Nadu government, and these factories were set up for this one single reason: to take every leaf that is plucked by the poor small growers. irrespective of the quality. That was what it was set up to help the small growers, like all cooperatives in this country, without much of an economic logic. So yesterday I was very happy that the Wayanad category, for the first time ever, one of our government factories catering to the smallest growers' needs won a Golden Leaf Award, beating many established estate factories. Apart from the Nilgiris, most of the awards won by in the Nilgiris category also went to some of our small growers. So I was very happy when a couple of our estate friends were very happy to get the award. They told, "Wow, I made it. I've been trying for 4 editions. First time I made it." And one more of my friend, one of the biggest owners area-wise in South India, comes and says, "Sir, I wouldn't have put the suit had I not known that I'm not going to win the award. First time I'm not winning it, but I promise you next time I'll win it." Which means this award has caught up. I've just been lucky that whatever work we have done, because as you might know that South India 40% comes from the small growers. Especially it's even higher in the district of Nilgiris with 70,000 small growers. So I feel vindicated that whatever little work that we have done, the same time, unfortunately for us, Kenya went through a crisis, so the rates went up. So whenever I used to go and tell them, "Give me good leaves, we'll give you good prices." Lucky for us, God was smiling on us that Kenya had a drought, so the prices started going up. So we were able to somehow correlate that it is true that if you give better leaves, you get better tea, in which case you get better prices. And at the same time, the Golden Leaf Award took off. I joined 3 months before the Golden Leaf Award, so I've been lucky that in 3.5 years we had seen the 5th Golden Leaf Award, for which I really thank UPASI and Mr. Dharmaraj for the amount of work they have done to make this a great success. So it's just that whatever work we have done, somehow it has succeeded, something which is not very common in the government sector, but I've just been plain lucky. Yeah. What do? We under the Tea Act passed by the Parliament, tea can be looked after only by the central government through the tea board. The state, there's the provincial government, does not have any powers on it. So I have my office in Kunnur looking after Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka, with offices at Kunnur, Kottayam, Kochi and Chennai, regulating the tea auction centers at Kunnur, Coimbatore and Cochin, and 114,000 hectares and lots of estates and more than 150 of them are bottle factories. 73,000 small growers, the highest number of small growers in the world after Kenya. And we are supposed to, obviously, development of tea plantation is a main job. We have various subsidies for replanting, rejuvenation, improvement of quality through your factory upgradation program. And of course, we license the auction houses, auctioneers, factories, buyers, warehouses, sellers, packeteers, exporters, blenders. And we, of course, we do pay for the Tea Research Foundation of UPASI. A large percentage of the fund comes to them through us. And we do promotion. We have our directorates abroad in Moscow, London and Dubai. And we participate around the world in various exhibitions, exhibiting our teas and trying to fight against our dear friends from Kenya and Sri Lanka. And then we also do a lot of work in the welfare of the small growers and the tea laborers, including the scholarships and stipend. And we give money to schools, colleges, hospitals, and all that. Well, when we went through a major crisis because there's a huge fall in the international prices to just 40% of the pre-1998 prices, and after the collapse of the Soviet Union and after Russia stopped subsidizing the teas and the fall of the rupee-ruble trade, Russia suddenly disappeared. As you might know, 50% of South Indian teas are exported, far higher percentage than what it is in North India. So when suddenly such a huge market disappears, earlier they were buying all types of teas that were given by South India. Suddenly the small growers who were getting about 10 rupees to 15 rupees to the highest of 18 rupees were just getting 3 or 4 rupees when I joined in 2005 in June. So what happens is, because they've been used to higher prices, many of the small growers did not go to their own field. They use laborers. Many of these are Sri Lankan repatriates who were paid just 1 or 2 rupees per kilo. So they could not care about the quality, and these people it did not matter to these people because they were only getting 3 or 4 rupees. So it led to a huge vicious cycle where the quality went for a complete toss. So many stopped pruning, fertilizing and maintaining of the fields as fatty farming reached an unviable proposition, and then they started using wrong agriculture practices. So they told, why should I go once in 8 days? Why should I go once in 10 days? Let me go once in a month, and instead of using hands, let me just use a sickle and do knife harvesting. And then the factories, what happens to them? So for them, quantity becomes the only mantra to make money. So they started doing all sorts of illegal practices, about which I would not like to delve in much, but many of my friends all over the country know that we introduced the RC, which Assam and Bengal has successfully learned from us, and so a lot of these the coarse sleeves were used in these factories, which again led to a worse, which even depresses the prices furthermore. Hence, it was imperative for the tea board to take a series of stringent measures, not only to restore the health of the industry, so that it can come out of the crisis prevailing for the past 6 years, but also to restore the right of all its stakeholders to earn a sustainable livelihood. Because we are talking about the poorest of the poor. Maybe Tamil Nadu and Kerala are not as poorly off as the counterparts in North India, but still we are talking about small and marginal farmers, half acre, 1 acre, and I mean most of them having less than an acre. So the tea board, as you know, gives for new plantation, for rejuvenation, for replanting, and also for improvement of machineries. So what did we do? We tried to come up with a couple of new programs. So one was, we thought, because they are not pruning, why don't we go and prune the fields? Jabardast, you just go find out the fields which have not been pruned for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, and you just prune it and you just give them the money. You just take your own guys, you just take your own machine and you do it. So that's what we did, and we pruned about for a crore. The chairman was kind enough.
Dignitaries among the audience and distinguished delegates. In my presentation today, I shall cover a few aspects of the biochemical quality of tea, the standards for tea, the importance of certain practices like good agricultural practices and HACCP, the contaminants, and also the role of tea in the health benefits. The quality of tea is determined by the quality of the raw material, that is the green tea shoots. And the quality of the green tea shoots is decided upon by a number of factors like the genetic character of the bush, the agroclimatic conditions prevailing in the particular area, and the agronomic practices adopted by the growers. Now, the single most important factor in the biochemical quality of the tea shoots is the flavonols or the polyphenols, which constitutes nearly 30% of the dry weight of the shoot. Among the flavonols, two compounds called the EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, and the epigallocatechin EGC are the most important. Apart from this, there are others like the flavonol, they are glycosides, leucoanthocyanins, and polyphenolic acids, which constitute 30% of the dry weight. And the other materials include caffeine, which gives the stimulant property to the drink, amino acids, especially theanine, which is found only in tea and also only in one other organism, a particular mushroom. This has been reported. It also contains the carbohydrates, organic acids, and the volatile compounds, which form only 0.01% but contribute to the aroma or the flavor of the tea. Also present in the tea shoots are the polysaccharides like starch, proteins, and the water-insoluble materials like cellulose, lignin, and the lipids. The standards for tea have been prescribed in India under the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, and these are almost all, these are on par with the ISO 3720 standards. I'll not be going into the details of this because these are most familiar to all of you. But most importantly, these standards are particular only for the black tea, and most of the countries, producing countries in the world, adopt these standards. But there are a few, like Vietnam, which do not follow these specifications, the international specifications for tea. If all the tea producing countries are able to follow or stipulate these specifications, I am sure that this will drive out substandard tea from the markets and result in the improvement in the economy of tea in the short term at least. Now coming to the biochemical quality parameters of the tea liquor, there are a few compounds called the theaflavins and the thiarubigins. The theaflavins contribute to the brightness and briskness and the tone of the color of the infusion. They have a positive correlation. Our studies have very clearly shown, especially in relation to CTC teas, where they have a positive correlation with the price realization. And the TF content of the best CTC, of the good CTC teas, should be at least around 1%, 0.8 to 1%. The thiarubigins are again another group of compounds formed during the fermentation process. These thiarubigins contribute to the body, strength, richness and color of the liquor, and they constitute about 10 to 12% in the CTC teas. More than the content of the thiaflavin or thiarubigin, it is the ratio between these two that contribute to the quality of the tea. In the liquor, they should be in the ratio of 1:10 or 1:12, between this range. Some of the thiarubigins are highly polymerized, and these are called either TR2 or the highly polymerized substances. They contribute to the body and liquor of the color. The total liquor color is another value for the overall liquor color, and it depends on the value of the thiaflavins, thiarubigins and the highly polymerized substances. And for good CTC teas, the total liquor color should be in the range of 3 to 4.5, whereas for the orthodox teas, we expect it between 2 and 3. Caffeine is another important content of the liquor, which contributes to the briskness in combination with thiaflavins.
Thank you, sir. To Dr. N. Muralidharan. Thank you very much. I now invite Mr. T.V. Alexander.